Please ignore my hair. I attempted to do like a wash and go type of thing, which I haven't really worn my natural hair in like a really long time. So just excuse me if I'm like all in my... I actually have already done my eyebrows and I have already moisturized my skin. So what I'm going to do next is jump right into my primer and my foundation routine. You know, the whole works. Most of these products I think you guys have probably seen me use. Some might be new to YouTube, but if you see me on Snapchat, I've probably mentioned these products before. So definitely follow me on Snapchat and all my other social medias, which I will have listed down below. So let's just stop rambling and actually start going. So my primer, like always, I'm going to be using my NYX Studio Perfect Photo Loving Primer. I primarily use this in my textured areas, which tends to be right underneath the eye. Moisturize that all in. Now, if you notice, I do not hit this spot right here. I do color correct that, but I just want to focus on this texture. And then also over here as well. Now this side has a darker spot than this side. And anyone that wears glasses know the struggle. So that is just an imprint from years upon years of wearing glasses. So I'm finally using my contacts more. So hopefully I'll be able to get that spot to fade. I don't know. Had to look up some like dark spot remedies or whatever. So on the nose and a little bit on the forehead, because I've had like a tiny bit of breakout in this area, so I just want to cover that up. And then on the chin. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, which is definitely different for me because I'm all about a dewy skin. However, because it's like 100 degrees outside, I'll go for something matte because I don't want to start sweating immediately or have my makeup start running. So by going with something matte, it helps combat that much sweat and oil that I would produce normally when I'm outside in the heat. Maybelline, I love y'all. I love this foundation, even both the dewy as well as the matte. Can y'all give me a pump, please? Or something, because I'm so tired of having to use my finger, pouring it out. Like, just give me a pump. I don't think I'm asking for too much. I'm pretty sure many of y'all understand the struggle, but like, you have great coverage. You have many different shades. Can I have a pump, please? Please. So like I said, I was gonna color correct. Basically what I'm gonna do is not actually use a color corrector, but use my foundation, and I just put that right there at the thin letter and I pat it out with my finger, and I'm gonna let that sit. That's gonna be the last place I blend out my foundation. Oh, and I did not tell you guys, the shade that I'm using is the 338. Yeah, the 338 Spicy Brown. This I have found is the one shade that matches me perfectly. I don't know how to blend anything together. This is a perfect shade for me in the summer because I do get a little bit darker. Try to be out, try to do stuff. So as you can see, it matches me perfectly. And always using my Real Technique sponge to blend it out. I'm gonna go in and blend out that one spot. Not really blend it out, but just tap my sponge right over it. There we go. And it's like it was never there. So next I'm gonna go ahead and highlight my face. For my highlight, I'm gonna be using the Tarte Shape Tape. This is in the shade Deep. I probably could go lighter, but I don't want to. I like to keep it just a little bit, you know, just a realistic highlight. I don't want to do something that's too much, you know what I mean? I don't want to be extra right now. So this part really hasn't changed from what you guys have seen me do in most of my other videos. Don't want to take it on too far. Put a little bit right there. Tiniest amount right there. And right there. Now if you notice, I don't put it on my nose. I do not anymore. Because I feel like my face ends up looking too light. So I skip doing the bridge of the nose. Just right now. I might get back into it a little later. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pat this out. Now for my concealer, I usually, this has been sitting for a little bit while because I had to go clean it myself, but I usually go in with the bottom first, blend that out all the way to the eyebrow. Then I'm going to take the whole sponge and just dab it underneath the eye, really stretch our eye out to make sure everything is fully covered. There we go. And that is like a perfect blend, you know what I mean? Hop right over to the other side and blend out the rest of the concealer on my face. I always start with the edges first, and then don't forget to get right underneath by the crease of that nose. You know what I mean? And I can't leave the lines. I always like blend it out. Good. So everything is now fully blended out. What I'm going to do next is, you guys have seen me do in almost every video, I'm going to take my Airspun loose powder, which I'm trying not to ruin my entire floor now. Straighten. I like to stretch my eye, kind of look up. That way I can really get into, get in the under eye area pretty nice. I don't like to use my sponge because I don't know, I just don't like the way. I don't know. Even though I didn't put any concealer on my nose, I am still going to take some of that Airspun powder and put it right down the center of my nose, because my nose gets super oily in the summertime. So I'm really going to take a good bit of powder and dab it there, and then on the forehead. So I'm really trying to set everything, not baking, just really getting everything to set the way I like it. And then whatever is left on the brush, just pat it a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. That's it for that for right now. I'm gonna leave that on the side. So next I am going to powder the rest of my face. This, you guys have seen me use it many times. It's gonna be my L'Oreal True Match powder foundation. I am in the shade N8 Cappuccino. That does not change within the seasons. I'm still always this shade. And you top that off as well and go straight in. I do use this to also brush off any excess Airspun powder. I'm gonna go ahead and contour my face now that I got everything pretty much set. I'm gonna be using my Black Radiance powder in Cafe, as I always use. I'm going to be taking a contour brush. Any brush that's orange and black that you see on my channel, that you see me use, is by Real Techniques. I don't usually mention what brush I'm using, but just so you guys, if you guys are curious, if you didn't know. So I'm going to go ahead and just take that just on one side, small amount, and then just work that down. So first I'm going to use back and forth motions so I can really get it where I want it, and then I'm going to start to brush it up. So it blends in nicely with everything else. And then just between those two motions, and then a little bit of circular motion, then a little bit of circle. So take that all the way back to the ear, and then up. Okay, good. And the other side. I am definitely a fan of a powder contour because I don't want to have too much products on my face. Like I said, it's summertime and it's crazy hot. I don't want to have too many layers going on, so I prefer not to do a liquid contour. Now, even before then, like, I really haven't been into liquid contours as I used to be. So now I'm just like all about the powder, even though powder can leave you looking extra dry and sometimes cakey. By the time I set my set all of this again with like some setting spray, it all just melts together, so it doesn't have that harsh look. So just get right up on there, really focus it on the hairline. Like, I'm not afraid to get it in my hair, like all of my edges right here. I don't mind. So I get it all on there. And when it comes to the nose, take it on the same brush and I'm gonna pinch it really, really thin. From my eyebrow, as you can see that curve right here, I'm gonna start right there and then just work it down the nose. Okay. Next side. So not really a contour, but a little bit of definition. So now that we're done with the blush, the contour, the highlight, I'm gonna go ahead and set this. I'm going to give this bottle a good shake. This is the Pixie Glow Mist. This is so essential, like especially when I use this matte foundation and I use as much powder. Once I put this on, it still keeps everything in place and keeps it all set, so I don't sweat as much, but it still gives me light to my face. It takes away half of the cake, so I definitely love this. I'll shake that off, and then you don't want to use a lot because then it gets wet and then it can mess up your face. It can mess everything up, so just a few spritz. That's it. I'm gonna let that dry just a little bit, just fan that out. Let it's dry just a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and take my NYX blush palette again, and I'm gonna go ahead and use this really pretty, this really pretty gold color right here. It complements my skin tone so nicely. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that and just dust it over my cheeks. Boom. Next side. Boom. That the highlight is on, I'm gonna take my spray one more time and go back over with still just a couple, not as heavy as I usually do with other sprays, just a couple. Setting spray is dried, and this is the final foundation look. This is my go-to, especially in the summertime. It helps me keep everything locked in, keep it looking fresh. I can wear this for probably, let's say, 6 hours and still be fine. Like, I could go outside for a couple hours, still be good. This would usually last me for most of the day. So I really hope this was easy to follow and very informative for you guys. I try to make it as detailed as possible, so definitely stay tuned, because using the same look, I'm gonna go ahead and do a eyeshadow look. So that's gonna be up next. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have a good one. Stay beautiful.